Hi guys, my name's Keith, and I just thought because everybody else seems to be doing YouTube videos today, I thought I'd do something similar, based on my experience recently of having an operation due to having an enlarged prostate. Not something I don't think guys really like to talk about. We tend to hold things back and tend to be very reserved about such matters, but I just wanted to do this really to um, just to vent out and to see this as some form of therapy, just to share with people the difficulties I encountered from the beginning of identifying that I had a prostate through to seeing a consultant, having the operation, and post-op experiences. On the 7th of July, after seeing a consultant in urology, um, the date was set for me to have the operation at a hospital, and I'll keep names out of it. I don't really want to identify where I am, what hospital I went into, etc. I just want to keep that private, really. But um, went into hospital, had initial tests done. On the same day, I was wheeled into theatre, had an injection to obviously put me to sleep. I went into theatre and had the operation. Came out, ended up in recovery, and then placed on a ward with other guys that had similar operations. That wasn't so bad, but I think what really made it difficult for me to deal with was the discomfort of having to wear a catheter bag, which in my work, I've come across a lot of people in the community who wear catheter bags due to having various conditions. Make it difficult for people to, especially gentlemen, to to pee normally. Anyway, then so from recovery room was placed on a ward with other guys, fitted with a catheter bag. Very strange experience, very uncomfortable, but had to accept that was the norm following the operation. And then after a day was discharged from hospital, returned home and had to manage and use the catheter bag for the next 2 days until I had to go to clinic to see a nurse to have it removed. It was then removed, of course, and then after that I started having complications. I couldn't pee every time I went to the toilet. It was absolutely horrendous. It was uncomfortable and painful trying to pee. I then had to, in a panic, had to get myself to accident and emergency at the hospital to present myself. Got there. This was on obviously the same day I was discharged, and was taken into a bay by a male nurse who tried different catheters. And at this point, my penis was very, very sore, as you can imagine. Anyway, I was admitted to hospital due to complications, and then they put me on a drip. I was on a drip for 2 days solid, so I went through litres of fluids just to flush out my bladder. Um, Still wearing a catheter bag, of course, so it was like a continuous flow of fluids, if you like, flushing out my bladder, but also um, ex- uh, um, getting rid of all the rotten stuff that was in my bladder. Obviously, blood clots and things like that. So that was doing the job anyway. And then 2 days later, I was discharged back home. Again, complications. I had to present myself to accident and emergency yet again. The consultant then joined me because I contacted him to tell him I was really anxious about it all. The things weren't working as good as they should have been. So he agreed to meet me at accident and emergency, and he actually um, tried me with another catheter bag, which I had to keep in for another day, and then visited clinic to have that removed. Since then, I've been suffering from some incontinence, so I have to wear pads, and that's very uncomfortable. It's an attack on your dignity and your pride. Again, as men, we don't like to talk about all these things, but I think in a way I'm glad that I'm doing this because You know, I work with people in the community, have done for 20 years, as mainly older people, and I've seen this time and time again with men especially, and also women. But it's not nice. It's embarrassing. It's humiliating, and dehumanizing. So, but you know, I have to go through with it. That's the point and the reality of all of this. I have to go through it. Still going through it, but I believe that things will calm down and will right themselves. I'll recover and get back to normal. So, for anyone that's been through this, you'll understand. Now, in my case, it wasn't a normal process because the surgeon did say to me actually the prostate was a lot larger than was originally anticipated. So, of course, he had to do more work on that in reducing the size down to a more acceptable normal size for me to be able to pee properly. But yeah, for those out there that have been through this process, you know, you understand the emotions, feelings, the thought processes and experiences that I've shared with you. And for those who will have to go through this, you know, don't be afraid, don't be too anxious. You know, it's I know that I've shared a lot with you and it's not nice, but in the long term you will feel so much better in yourself and physically as well. Um, so I hope you don't mind me sharing with this. I'm not doing this to alarm anybody or cause any anxiety, but to educate. And also, I see this for me now as therapy, just being able to vent to other people because being on your own, you know, it can be quite difficult when you want to talk and there's nobody around to do that with. Okay, so wish you all the best, and I hope that you get something from this.